Hi guys! Today I'm going to review the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils. So without further ado, let's get started! I found the basic 12 watercolor pencil set in the Faber-Castell compendium that I received for Christmas and that I already reviewed on my channel some weeks ago. Previously, I had just tried the Caran-d'Ache Prismalo watercolor pencils, but this is the first professional set that I ever tried in this particular category. The set color range is very good because you have all the primary colors as well as black and white, some greens and a dark color for shadows. Speaking about general characteristics, they have quite a large barrel diameter. And it is hexagonal, not circular like the polychromos one. It measures 8 mm with a 4 mm core. They don't fit in some of my erasers, like the Muji one for example. The core is break resistant and the pencil seems very sturdy. On one side of the pencil we can find the brand name and the pencil's line name, followed by a brush symbol that indicates that they are water-soluble. On the other side we can find the pigment name and number. Then you can also find the light fastness stars symbols. They share color names and number with other Faber-Castell products, like for example the polychromos pencils and the polychromos sticks. This is very useful, especially if you need to combine the mediums and you need to apply the same color. Now I am going to swatch them on watercolor paper to see the colors on white paper and to see how the pigment dissolves in water. I will use the Faber-Castell brush that I also find in the compendium and that was supposed to be used with these color pencils. I started with the white, then I proceed with the yellow and I put more pressure and layer down the color more in the left part of the swatch and I went lighter while moving on the right. Can see how the color change, adding more water and less pigment. They have in general a drier feel than polychromos pencils, but when the water touches the pigment, it dissolves instantly completely. There aren't super dark colors in the set as you can see here, but with the black and the sepia you can darken all the colors. The lighter color seems to be more transparent than the dark one. Now I am going to do a blending test and I decided to blend the yellow and the light blue together to obtain a green. I layered down the yellow first and then I applied the light blue. And when I blend them together, I obtain a beautiful lime green because I put down more yellow than blue. I can say that they blend together as a dream. But now it's time to test them in a quick sketch and see how they behave. Here the art supplies that I used. Watercolor pencils, of course. The Faber-Castell brush with round tip in size number 6 that I found in the compendium. The peat oil pastel in color sanguine, the Lyra kneadable eraser, the Faber-Castell travel jar, a couple of clips to keep my sketchbook pages flat, and of course my watercolor sketchbook. For today I decided to do a sort of botanical illustration with very light and fresh color wash. and since it's spring I want to sketch sakura flowers. So, I started with the sketch and I know that unfortunately it turned out barely visible with this pencil. Then I started with the red and I put down a light color layer on the flower's petals. With the brush I blend the color and I try to obtain a gradient of color where in the center of the flower I have more pigment. Then with the sepia I colored the stem and I layered down the sepia, the dark green and the English red together to blend and mix them up with the brush. I added details and shadows with the sepia. The colors behaved very well, they are easy to blend together and they layer down very easily. The final finish is very similar to a sketch done with watercolors, but the feeling that I had was that I had much more control on this medium, and it resulted easier to use and very relaxing. To put down white details I had to use gouache, because the white was completely transparent and doesn't show up at all on top of the other colors. I suppose that the white is meant to be mixed with other pigments to obtain lighter color, but not to be used by itself. To do more precise and very dark details, I also tried to put directly the tip of the pencil in the water jar, and it totally worked out. And that's it, guys! My final thought is that these colors are very smooth and easy to use, and I love the final result of the sketch. I think they are perfect not only for professional but also for beginner, because they are very easy to control. For sure I will keep using them in my future projects, and I think that they are good also to be used in mixed media techniques. Today I kept them very light and I didn't want to layer them too much, but maybe next time I will attempt to reach a more realistic result. Did you ever try this medium? I'm super curious to know your opinion about the topic. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to don't miss any other content. See you next time. Moi moi!